Hello, everyone. Coming to you again from the secret bunker beneath the blinking blue light. It's PAPAtv Live. And we have our special episode tonight about games that will get you disqualified. We're not a fan of cheating in pinball, but
somebody here's a fan of cheating.
Whoa, wait a minute. Under the blinking blue light, is that what you said?
Yes.
I thought we were in Cincinnati.
No. Outside of Pittsburgh. You're at the wrong blinking blue light.
This is an episode about...
And we're recording. We're live right now.
Oh, hey. So this is an episode about games that unknowingly get you disqualified.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. I abide by all IFPA Papa rules.
Okay, now go inflate your, yeah. Hi, Chris. To my left, I have James Coons joining me tonight, and to my right, getting organized here, is Chris Stevens, and we'll be starting out tonight with Space Station.
Woo!
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Pete. Hi, James.
That was
Hi,
awkward.
Chris.
Really
Hi, Pete.
awkward.
But it's going to be okay because there might be some awkward chances
Did
here.
anyone give that guy credentials?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
It'll be all right. But you don't need credentials to play Space Station, do you?
No. You need credentials to get on the space station. Space Station, it is a Williams solid state from December 1987, 3,804 units. Designed by Barry Orsler, software by Ed Boone, and stepping up will be Colin Dundees.
And today we're going to be doing the lovely head-to-head format. And we have player one being Colin. Colin, how are you? Are you ready to win?
Let's see.
That's not a good answer. Are you ready to win?
Maybe.
Okay, good. Whatever you do, don't get disqualified.
Well, we haven't announced who he's playing against, so maybe once
Does
that
it matter?
happens, you'll understand
Oh.
his trepidation.
All right, who is this guy?
All right.
It's Colin Voices the Kid.
Can we get a name up? I don't recognize.
Who is this? I can't tell he's got a hat on. Oh, it's Alec.
Under disguise.
What's up, dude?
He is the winner of the Pittsburgh Pinball League 36 Championship on Saturday, and he did it in very convincing fashion.
Which is why Fred's not here today.
And Fred was the runner-up.
So
and
embarrassed.
John
boy.
in third, but
That was a good outlane. That's points, but it's still not the
Close
greatest. And I do have to say that
when things drain like that, no one gets disqualified.
no one gets DQ'd, thankfully.
The game wins.
Now, to me, this is a pretty fun, popular game. Can you give a quick explanation as to how you can get DQ'd on this?
Oh, hopefully we'll see it come up here. The game, well, right there you saw Colin finish a feature called Shuttle, and you will get an award. One of 7 awards right there in that left column. One of those is Bonus Ball.
Which is this bad boy right here.
If you get Bonus Ball, you get a ball at the end of the game. But not every player gets it. So like in a 4-player game, player 2 may be the only one with a bonus ball.
Oh.
And later on, we'll go through a very heartbreaking scenario about how the bonus ball and a disqualification changed the outcome of a tournament.
Oh boy, some stories like that you hear, it's heartbreaking, but it goes to show you that rules are the rules,
Yep.
and the most important thing, in my opinion, is just to be aware.
Okay,
It really.
Oh, nice save by Alexander right there.
so we got I Buy Pinball with an interesting note about this game. No in-lanes.
Oh yeah.
No, just crazy slingshots.
Crazy slings. There they go. And a crazy outlane. There it goes.
The first few times you play this game, you'll think, okay, there's no in-lanes. And look at all that area around the flippers. It's easy to trap. It is not. It's real easy to trap it up the sling and down the outlane.
Yeah. I mean, this game is perfect for a guy like you, Pete, who likes to play a little more on the fly, flipping as the ball gets to the flipper. I mean, when I play this game, that's the strategy I take. I just flip a lot more than I normally would.
There's strategy of this game, you can see there are 2 shots in green. Well, right
Whoa,
now, it's
nice.
Oh, that's how
Nudges.
you know.
there are 2 balls that are locked. He's ready to start multi-ball, and there he goes.
And he is now in multi-ball. We are going green.
But essentially the strategy is lock ball 1, block ball 2, play multi-ball. Repeat, repeat, repeat.
Repeat.
I wonder if NASA owns a copy of this and if they've re-themed it with an accurate representation of what the space station looks like.
I hope not.
Because the back glass is like one of those great fantasies of the rotating space station with artificial gravity that's not really possible. But, you know, we can dream.
Don't ruin my imagination, please.
Yeah, you basically have to have a space station as round as a planet
Oui. Well,
to really, you know, get that centrifugal force to work.
well,
Or at
while
least very long.
while we have this shot here, these awards you can see in the middle there. One of them is light bonus ball. And I'm not sure if it is the 50,000. It looks like
Yeah,
you
pretty
can
sure it's
light
the 50,000
outlanes.
one, yep.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. So there's your bonus ball. This guy right here. And as you can see, the one on the right is lit. So if he spells station, which are all of these targets right here, it will give him a bonus ball. If he collects shuttle, he'll get the left award that's lit, which is currently 50,000 points and hold bonus.
150,000 points and hold bonus.
And hold bonus. That was a pretty decent ball. He got himself a multi-ball. He got some good points up. He's basically going to force Alexander to have an equal or better ball on that one. It was a very, very good play.
Now, this game is very grindy. They had it in Buffalo one year, and Jared Chambers had the top score in qualifying at like, what, 6 million, 7 million?
Yes. It was very high.
He was actually the last person qualifying it on it, too, and they had to tell him to stop because he had the high score, but he could have easily rolled it.
Could have just kept on going.
He was that much in the zone.
Does roll at the 10 million.
Oh, boy. Well, nice nudges there to prevent it from swishing to that outlane. And a
Look at
beautiful
that.
live
Oh,
catch.
And then right into the lock.
Right into the lock shot for 100,000 points
That's
and
disgusting.
the ball lock. So he's got the left lock completed. Now he has to get the right lock. Well, the right lock is actually completed as well. These lights down here tell you which ones are completed. Both of them were lit, so you can collect the release on the left orbit here or straight up the center.
And this is a lock-stealing game. So if you lock 2 and leave them there, your
Someone else is gonna
opponent
get
is
'em.
Very happy for.
It definitely puts on more pressure. It makes you think about, like, do you want to go first? Because there might already be a ball locked.
Not in this game. This game should
It'll kick
them
him
out.
out, yeah.
Now,
He takes the outline, and I don't think it's going to be enough.
No.
It looks like Colin.
Alexander.
Wait, is there a bonus ball? Let's wait, because you never know.
No.
That is the
So,
game.
Colin gets the win.
Congratulations to
Who
Colin.
wants to take him on?
I guess I'll go take on Colin.
Alrighty.
Right.
So
Get
we're
this
going to
out of the
have
way.
We'll bring
James.
the champ over, come over to the booth, and let
We'll let see if James
James
can
can
take
take
down
him
the
out.
new defending champion.
But before that game gets started, let's take a moment and talk about Comet Pinball.
I would love to talk about Comet Pinball, so I will, because Comet Pinball has the largest selection of lighting products for your pinball machines. LEDs can brighten up your game while reducing heat and power consumption. Whether you're a collector, operator, restorer, or mod maker, you'll always find low prices, fast shipping, and great service with Comet Pinball. You can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/CometPinball, on Twitter at twitter.com/CometPinball, or even on Instagram at instagram.com/CometPinball.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Comet Pinball.
Thank you.
And welcome to the booth, Alexander.
Hi, Pete. Thank you.
Hi, Alexander. How was defending your turf while I was out of town?
It was a fun matchup. A lot of good players.
That's good.
Great game.
Well, actually, he reclaimed his turf.
He
was
reclaimed it, that's
he
true.
was the winner of the spring season. Then Greg DeFeo took the title in the summer, and Alexander claimed this turf back
Oh, boy.
to go onto his long list of turf. Let's see. OBX Fall Tournament first. Pinfest first. Pennsylvania State Champ first. Ohio Pinball Show first. Kid Force Spring League first. Kid Force Fall League first. He has 15 wins that aren't even part of his top 20 IFBA profile.
I know the feeling because
And-
I'm not that good, but
and then-
I've got some solid scores.
And then there was that Expo flip out second.
Who took first?
Escher.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was
Second
some exciting stuff.
Second place, the first loser.
First loser every time. Hey, what's the highest you ever finished at Pinburg?
Ninth place.
Ninth. It's only a matter of time, buddy. You and I were in the same group. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you just sometimes the machines just don't let you play.
Yep.
And I felt horrible because that happened to you last year. And but it's okay because I know how great of a competitor you are. You're an awesome kid. You're a good friend, and I'm looking forward to many matches against you.
Yep. me
But
too.
more importantly, have you ever been disqualified?
Oh yeah, many times.
Oh, yeah?
Eddie?
On what?
I know when I first started, a lot of disqualification, just dumb things like playing out of turn.
Yep,
kinda
that's
bunch
definitely
raw ball.
a big deal. And we'll be able to go over a couple out-of-turn examples. Basically, every single game here has a play
hang on
out of
right now.
turn.
Right now, Colin has the bonus ball lit on the shuttle side, and he's
one letter away.
Maybe he was going for lock. I don't know, but it's sure. I'm going to believe he was trying to get that bonus ball for us.
All right, well, Colin, we want you to beat Jim, obviously, but we also do want some bonus ball action. So maybe after you're done putting up like 3 million, maybe tease us a little.
Oh, we need that L.
We'll see about it.
All he needs is that L.
Oh no, I'm one row off.
the
It's-
T. He
It's
needs
the
the T.
The T, right?
He needs
the
the
other
T.
side.
But it's okay. It will be lit on the start of the next ball, but I think it might rotate the awards.
Yeah, we're gonna get the rewards moving here because James is up, and
Now, I don't normally aim for targets. Do
No.
either of you aim for targets?
Nah, not really.
No, yeah. See, I'm a big multi-ball player and stop and score player. Oh, that was beautiful. That's how you collect 100,000 points out the outlay.
I mean, I'm in second place. That's for sure.
And Alexander, what's second place get you? What's that mean?
Second place, the first loser.
That means you're the first loser, Jim. But that's
so
okay.
now
That
you
was some real sportsmanship leaving my locks.
Yeah, that was so nice of him.
now you can see that the awards did change, but his letter progress didn't. So he's one letter away from 75,000 twice.
Now, is there a way to change what awards you receive?
Yes,
What do you have to do?
I don't know.
I believe, is it hit this target on the right here?
I'm not sure.
Alexander, what do you think? What's that target there do?
Not sure. No, that sounds right though.
It sounds about right. Maybe we'll see if someone can hit it, and we'll see if it moves some of those things. But for now,
Now we're
we're
gonna have 3 balls
going
bouncing
to the
around.
multi-ball.
Let's see what we get. Now during multi-ball, he's trying to relock 2 balls, correct?
yes.
And
And
that's 750.
with no in lanes and very sensitive slings, it's very difficult to do.
There's one.
There's one. So now he has to
It's
get
100,000.
All right, bounces over. Redock now. Pressure. There it is. It's going to rotate that guy. It's going to kick into the right, and it will.
Well done.
I love this.
Oh,
sound effect.
250,000.
I love the sounds. I love the light show. And the cool thing I've learned about this game is whenever it goes green, it actually switches the GI to a secondary string of lights. So I've seen some really awesome instances of this machine where they had taken all of the secondary GI lights and made them all green. So the entire playfield literally goes green.
Nice ball there. You got the multi-ball, got the jackpot, and then got a multi-drain.
And then he got that dreaded multi-drain. But that's okay. 2 million points is a lot for James, but we'll see if he
All
can
right,
make it happen. He
James
still has
is-
2 balls.
Favorite sports scandal, the 2017 Astros. Were you watching Colin Signs there?
I hope I was.
If you were, you would know to shoot the locks.
Well, right now, collecting station or shuttle will not award him the bonus ball. He is currently on the 50,000 points and light outlanes award. So not too terribly great. But I'm pretty sure
You only want light out lanes when your
Yeah.
left out lane is
when you're, yes,
gone.
whenever that left outline's gone, relighting it is very lucrative if you can. Oh,
That was me.
he needs to wake up and stop watching signs here.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was garbage.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. You still got one
All
ball
right,
left.
so
Right?
do you want to take on Colin next, or should I?
Yeah. I want to play some pinball, so I'll be more than happy to play whenever, whoever.
All right, you can go next.
Okay. That just might scare James enough to get us another switch to the right outline. Oh, but see, that's the geometry of some of these targets.
They're weird.
They kind of lull you to sleep, in my opinion.
Now, we haven't seen a bonus ball yet, but one interesting thing right here is a 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll tell you what players have received a bonus ball.
Yes. So basically, if you see that lit, that tells you, hey, that person has a bonus ball.
I don't know if we have extra balls on, but right now James is a T away from one. Knowing us, we probably don't,
Can I
and
get
it's probably
a
worth nothing.
T. Evan likes that. Oh, nope. He did. Did he collect it? He collected it and
He
got him
collected
nothing.
it and it got him nothing.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
I did that for you guys.
Thank
I could
you.
have won.
I appreciate. Oh, ball and play. Oh, I'm just kidding.
I could have won, but I shot the tee, dangerous shot for the stream.
All right.
Could have
right,
came
so-
back.
All right. Let's.
But for you.
Well, for the stream, let me do some more competitive play.
So
How's
we'll
that
let
sound?
Chris head on over, and while he's doing that, we'll tell the great disqualification story real quick. In Cleveland, this game was being used, and it was the last game of the first round. A player was already done and in fourth place. They would have got. They were getting 0 points. Oh, we're gonna come over here. Hi. So yeah, the player was done, getting 0 points. Another player was in a situation now. He had earned enough points that he would have been tied. It was Louis Bevins. He would have been tied with John Del Zoppo and at least in a tiebreaker. Player 4 was up. This player was essentially eliminated. They'd got 0 in both games. They had more points than John. They played their ball. Then one of the other players had earned a bonus ball, and this player saw the ball go into the shooter lane and plunged it. At that point, player 4 was disqualified, earning John 1 additional point because he moved from the last that he had to third and breaking the tiebreaker. And Lewis was eliminated because of a disqualification for somebody else. Really rough one.
I mean, so many things had to line up for that to be the perfect moment.
I think I was on commentary. We were covering a different game at that time, but we saw it happen, and it's like, oh no, because we knew what was coming, and it was just one of the most heartbreaking DQs we'd seen.
Alexander, have you ever been disqualified?
Oh, yes. I know one of my more painful ones, and when I first started was in the Ohio States. I plunged the wrong ball. Extra ball, got DQ'd.
That's rough. That's rough.
Did it cost you the match, or?
It did.
Oh, that's
Even
that's
worse.
things you'll learn from, though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's such a good habit to get into. A lot of players have a routine. When they walk up to a machine, you'll see it. Whether it's wiping off the glass or wiping off the lock bar or flipping all the flippers or stretching or doing whatever. But if you create that routine where you walk up and the first thing you do is check the status of the machine, that's a good thing to do. And it's a good thing to practice to make sure that you are thinking, okay, I walked up to this machine. Is it indicating my player position?
I actually had a disqualification once that learned me to just don't play angry, keep calm, just wipe the last game out. It was in the West Virginia finals against Brian Dye, and I had lost the game, and I'd picked the next game to move on to, and he said, I want to be player 1, and I'm heading to the bathroom. And I said, okay, and thinking, my mind was like, I'm going to pick this. He's going to pick player 2. He said player 1. I went up, started the game while he was in the bathroom, played my first ball because I was so mad and I just wanted to get going. And at that point, he come out of the bathroom and said, what happened? I wanted to be player 1. It's like, oh, no.
And that's the end.
Yep.
I've, so far, and I will eventually, never been DQ'd. Never taken a DQ.
Hopefully you can change that tonight.
I will do my best. Thank you. There's when we play Catacomb, it's very, very likely. Pete tried to get me earlier, but I have my routine. I have my routine. Playing out of order is difficult.
Favorite scandal, Chris Stevens, Josh Sharp's 50 million Terminator 2 jackpot.
Oh, man.
A classic.
It's a classic, all right.
I think we disproved it, didn't we? On a couple, when we did the T2, T3 broadcast a few weeks ago. You can go back there and see that, Josh Sharp's claims are just, impossible at this point.
Yeah, Chris got like 87 super jackpots in that game or something like that.
I got a couple. It was some exciting pinball, so I'm pretty thrilled about that. But I like to think that he ended up getting exactly what happened to me on that game. So, I mean, maybe he did, but I still feel like it wasn't exactly that. Like it didn't. I'm like kind of fumbling here because I really want this multi-ball. Okay, so he ended up doing exactly what I did, but then he's right. He probably hit the shot, but then he did the same thing I did, where like I got another shot at it, but he was like, "Wait a minute, it didn't count for anything, so something is wrong." Oh boy.
It's pretty
Now-
impressive.
Now, we've seen that the jackpot is worth $250,000. This is where I like going off the grain. Instead of going for the jackpot and playing controlled and smart, this is where I'm starting shooting for those shuttle targets and those station targets. Because, yeah, 250, or I can get 150 or hold bonus, or
You could get the bonus ball
I
if
could
he
get a bonus
shoots
ball.
us.
I can get
For
extra
an
ball
S.
like James did.
for an S.
We have it, bonus ball.
There is a bonus ball.
Oh my God, bonus ball!
Now, you only get one bonus ball, but if he collects the award, it's not a... Well, we'll wait. We'll talk about it when Chris gets to it.
I'm gonna say, tell me more.
Suspense.
Oh boy, don't do this to me, Pete. I gotta redock now. Oh, green.
It's 250,000. Now, you saw up on his display there, 2x stop score. That is where you can get some really good points.
Yes.
You can see
That's
right
why I'm
here.
aiming for it, and I keep missing it.
It's blinking.
Get in there, babe. Oh, come on. Don't
If
do
he
me
can
like
shoot that ramp, whatever score on the display, he'll score that. Now, you can build a multiplayer up
Get up
to
there. Oh, stop it.
to 5x with these lanes up here. 5x times max of 99,000, 495,000 point shot.
Get up there.
There it
you go.
is.
Oh.
So that was-
so that was low.
112 plus
But-
another 210 for the rescue jackpot.
Hey-oh.
Good stuff.
Are we still going green?
And then we're going to redock
Oh,
again.
don't do that.
The rare double trap on Space Shuttle.
Right.
Just not a thing
Oh,
that
There it is.
boop.
Another
161.
161.
I'll take it. All right, let's do one of these guys.
Lather,
Hey.
rinse, repeat. And Chris is putting on a clinic right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of
I
people
love this
don't
light
realize
show.
that right here is not the slingshot. So there is a space right above the flipper where the ball is going to act normal.
Oh,
Ish.
not good. Normal-ish.
Yeah, and so if it's rolling slowly up the flipper, you can end up trapping because of that. But if it goes a little high and
Oh, no!
the person that maintains your machines does a good job, those slingshots are going to fire, and it's going to be bad.
You're going to have a bad time.
And
That's
Dan
what you're
Hall
saying.
here at Papa loves to make the slingshots probably dangerous.
Oh, that was pretty.
Oh, I'll take it.
Now, over the weekend, I was flipping around the TV and I stumbled across
Get some
the
points.
classic Nintendo Classic Tetris Championships. And
Was Alexander in it?
he was not, but we're getting the winner was a 17-year-old kid, and he was the defending champ. He went back to back. So, on games with like fast slings and a really fast play, do you feel that you're at more of an advantage being young than me?
Us old people.
Because I'm old and my skills are waning.
It depends on, like, I guess, reflexes too in some people, I guess.
I mean, my vision's
How
going,
fast
so
you
like
respond to the game with how
I'm
quick
gonna be
the
like
gameplay
Trent with
is.
my spectacles soon.
Do you respond to the call-outs in games? Do you like listening for the audio call-outs?
On some of them, yes, like Getaway, you hear shift gears. I want to hear that.
Shift
kinda.
gears. Yeah, that's a good call on that one too.
Wizard of Oz, shoot the ramp. We light a lock.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and you watch the PPO from this year, you'll see Andy Rosa at one point plugs his headphones directly into dialed in, so that he can more clearly hear those calls. Because that game is going to tell you almost exactly what to shoot at any given
And it does a
time.
really good job doing it too.
Chris has a
that's
great
terrible.
game going here. He collected a special, which was worth nothing. Good job.
Hey, it's worth that beautiful light
That's
show.
beautiful.
And
You
that's
got the
something.
knock. You got the knock.
And I got the knock.
point.
Yeah.
I do love a good knock.
Get in. Oh,
on a pinball machine. I was playing. I was up in Boston at a work trip, and I saw a good friend of mine, Mai
Get
Nagrash,
up there.
and we went to a pinball place there. And I don't think many people who were there
look
at the
at
time
that.
we went were pinball players. And one of the games, knocked real loud for a free game, and it scared the bejesus out of the person walking next to it. Almost spilt their drink.
Awesome.
It was great. Loved it.
Oh, I still remember the first time I ever heard that knock. It was in a bar, and I thought the ball had fallen out of the game onto the wooden floor, and I'm crawling around looking like, what happened? I broke it.
not good. Get out of there. Okay.
All right. So
All right,
now
let's try for the
Chris-
5th time here. I need that Alexander finesse.
It's
Okay, he
not
doesn't- but
finesse,
he doesn't
it's
miss.
accuracy.
Yeah.
Imagine it's the X-File cabinet.
Imagine it's the X-Files cabinet. That's your technique, right?
Yep.
You just any shot you want to see
It's the X-File
going.
cabinet.
It's the X-Files.
It's a
cabinet.
wide, easy shot.
Oh boy.
All right. So, Colin, Ali versus Inoki.
Yeah.
What was that scandal?
That some people consider that to be like the predecessor to MMA, but I think Muhammad Ali at one point challenged people. I guess the more correct way of saying it than he did was people from Asia. He said he could beat anyone, and a wrestler, professional wrestler named Antonio Inoki, took him up in the challenge, raised like a few $1 million to fight him, and then after Ali accepted, his managers wanted the fight to be predetermined. They wanted Ali to win. Inoki said, no, let's do a real fight. And so they decided to change the rules, which if you ever watch the fight becomes very apparent. It kind of becomes this weird like drop kicking thing. And it goes on for like, I think 90 minutes. And I think Ali maybe hits like 6 light punches while getting kicked about 100 times. And it's ruled a draw.
So, using this logic, unless this Marty Balls goes good, you and Chris are going to have a draw, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's how PAPAtv works, right? It's whoever bribes
James
me-
always wins.
Yeah, whoever gives me the most money or buys me dinner beforehand has a distinct advantage.
ND Cotton in the chat, the space station turnstile really eats up the ball's momentum up the ramp, it seems. Yeah, it does. It's a weird design of that ramp, and a lot of times you'll see balls get stuck up there right at the turn, right about here. But that's one of the more visited stuck ball locations on this game. Not much redocking going on, but grinding out lots of points here. That was a great use of the kickback, getting 2 balls to come back.
Yeah, I
And-
like a kickback that has a good delay, because the worst thing is when it kicks the ball out and then manages to go right back into the kickback and it just turns off. Maybe one of the worst feelings in pinball.
Colin he knew the one ball was draining, and he tried to shoot the other one into it to save it, just missing. Nice multi ball though, and huge nudge.
It's a great nudge. Yeah, you have to remember that, sure, there's only out lanes there, but you got the top of a slingshot, so it's the shape is a lot different, and you can do a lot more with nudging.
This is a good game to learn nudging on. When to expect, like you should have expected the nudge right there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have a 4-ball game. Both players have earned the bonus ball.
It's not
He shook my
over
hand. It
yet.
was like, good game, but we both have bonus balls, number 1. That's also only ball 2.
It's only ball 2.
Like,
I thought it was ball
come
3
on,
as well.
man.
I thought it was ball 3 as well.
Well, thankfully, you can't get penalized for playing out of turn. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. If you just don't play a ball. But they'll plunge it, right?
What's the rule on that, Pete? How long do you have to have walked away before your ball gets plunged?
I did it again.
Wow.
I'm
Normally
getting
a couple
old. I blink.
minutes. You need to stop missing your shots.
He's leaving points on the table.
All right, so Chris has got his replay. He's got his special. He's got his bonus ball. Colin's got a bonus ball.
And
A lot of letters for shuttle. 3 more for station.
and a 1.3 million hole to dig out of.
And locks are not lit.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good. Thank you, Colin. How do you light your locks? You need to complete these 3. Oh, well,
Just
there's
look for the arrows.
there's
on the
a
play field.
like upper play field up the top. It's really hard to explain because that's up at the above the play field. There's 3 lanes, and then beneath that there's also 3 rollover lanes.
Dunked.
The upper 3 will light your locks, and the lower 3 are the ones that increase your stop and score.
He
bonus
has to have one heck
X.
of a bonus ball to catch
Yep.
me.
And the lock shots and release shots are the way to get back up there.
And also, here's a little bit of a strategy. Right now I have 2 and 3 lit, so I've got these 2 already collected, and I just need to collect 1 more. But because I already have my locks lit, I'm going to avoid collecting it.
If you complete those and locks aren't lit, it just increases the value of your pop bumpers, so not really worth it.
No. I got a little antsy on that one. You don't say.
So while Chris is building up his league, has anybody been watching Snoopy in space on Apple TV?
What? He's
Yeah.
in space now?
Yeah. He became a NASA astronaut.
That is
Of course
correct.
he did.
It's really good.
It's a good show. It's a good show. All those shows are actually surprisingly good. So
There's one.
I'm definitely, I'm trying to save some because I'm going to be in this situation soon where I'm going to be caring for a small human.
Do you know what it's
And
going to be?
Don't know. We're waiting to find out. And, that's going to probably be a lot of time where
A lot of
downtime.
daddy child time watching old Snoopy cartoons
Old
and Mr.
Snoopy
Rogers.
cartoons.
I think until they can really kind of understand things, I can get away with watching the stuff I want to watch.
So it's going to be the first 6 or 7 months will be wrestling and cooking shows.
I realized last week I watch about 12 hours of wrestling a week. So, yeah.
That's not enough.
Well, I have other hobbies.
Speaking of
I have
wrestling,
to
thank you to Brian Tessier for manning our chat rooms this evening.
The championship belt collector himself.
He's the best.
Which reminds us, we forgot to announce it at the beginning, but starting next month in January, when we come back from the holiday break, we are going to be broadcasting live exclusively on Twitch. We will archive all of our PAPAtv lives on YouTube, so if you miss it, that's where you're going to go find the replays. But on Tuesday nights, to join us going forward, you're going to need to come on over to Twitch if you aren't already there. And there you can become a subscriber to our channel. You can use your free Twitch Prime subscription if you have one. That money goes to help us, continue to build out our programming here. Make sure we have the best cameras and best lighting and best computers so we can broadcast all of these amazing games. This huge collection that we have.
It takes a while to build up all the necessary equipment to keep the bunker running fine.
That's
Oh,
true.
that was fast.
It is true. And then, we'll be able to use it to go and broadcast tournaments around the country and show you the best of
Boom.
pinball. so we can see if Chris Stevens can finally win Pinburg.
Oh,
He can't because Alexander's going to do it.
Well, he's won
I'm a homer. I root for all the hometown guys.
second, third, fourth. Have you won fifth yet, Chris?
No.
No,
right.
that's the Steve Bowden spot.
That's true. Sorry, Steve. Sorry. If you're in
No,
chat.
I mean
Sorry.
he'll happily take fifth anytime. If you said
Yeah,
you're going to
for
finish
real.
fifth in Pinburg, will you take it?
He'd say yes.
Heck,
I would say yes.
I'd be happy. You're going to be 32nd in Pinburg. I'd take that.
I try not to root against anybody, but I'll be honest, when I'm sitting there on the day of Pinburg finals and I'm thinking about who's going to be in my broadcast booth, I may be hoping that tragedy befalls certain players because they are such great commentators.
All right, so Colin got his bonus ball. He has 45 seconds. Let's see what he can do. Now, during the bonus ball, all you really are doing is hit as many right out lanes as you can. 100,000 for each one. When I won the PPL, this was one of the games that got me towards the finals, and I got one more out lane during a bonus ball than Greg Galanter. So if Colin can get 20 right out lanes in 5 seconds, he might
Almost
get
there.
it.
He has gotten 0. That's the most a ball has stayed in play during a bonus ball, I think.
Colin needed to
history.
picture that out lane as the Exalt cabinet.
When you want it to go down an out lane, it never will.
Something to note, because I haven't plunged yet, it's still giving me 45 seconds. So you don't have to rush up. You are able to come up, take a deep breath, look at the scores, look who's up, and then actually take your turn. Just in case someone's like, but what if you have to hurry? You don't have enough time to...
Except
to-
now
to
your
figure
clock
it
is
out.
running.
Now my clock is running, so I should stop talking.
Yeah, it will.
It will eventually be like, hey, you know what? Stop talking.
This
You are
isn't
boring me.
tic-tac-toe, where the countdown starts immediately after the ball drain.
Thank you to Borg Dog for the biddies. And thank you to Pinball Narcissist for joining us. I don't remember the date, but he put a date out for the next amazing race in Columbus. If you're in the area, sometime in
August.
late or early August, or check it out. It's a fun event.
I went to it last year, had a blast, and I will be back. And I believe Pittsburgh will be running their own version in the spring. Is that correct?
Okay.
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
Now I guess
Rumor
I
has
have.
it.
Let's look at the producer. Do I go play Chris on this, or are we changing games? Oh, I get to play him. Sweet.
Go
Oh, no.
show Chris how to play Space Station.
Show me.
And we'll bring Colin into the booth to talk about his
4
amazing
million,
run.
not bad, not bad.
So Colin is joining Alexander and I in the booth. Colin,
Hello.
great run.
Thank you.
You took down Alexander. You were really nervous.
You guys set me up. I was volunteered to go first.
Yeah.
So let's have Colin go first, and Alexander's here. Okay.
But that, we have a long history of when we do this head-to-head, that seems to work out. I forget the first time we did head-to-head. It was Priyanka versus CDs.
Me.
And Priyanka was like, this is going to go terrible. I really wanted to play more than one game. And then she did. She played every
Garbage.
game. She won straight through until I defeated her.
It's
But,
another dynamic when you're playing a lock-stealing game like this that, I mean, if the situation goes wrong for one player, even if they're a very good player, they can get out of it.
Before I plunge, I have here my copy of the rule book from Pinburg this past year. If I needed to look up something to disqualify you, this was the book that did it. I even have the D Division Finals games right there.
not that Pete was
And-
looking for reasons to disqualify people.
And speaking of D Division, happy birthday to Tracy Lindbergh, who was my assistant in D. Actually, she ran D. I didn't do anything.
Well, it's good that you're finally admitting these things in public, Pete.
Well, didn't we learn last week that I'm a cheater?
That's true. But you got that 100,000. Swish. And the lead.
Oy, oy, oy.
And the lead. Alexander, what do you you step up to a game like this, you plunge the ball, it just goes out the right out lane. How do you deal?
You just gotta take a.
You get disqualified. Woo!
You just gotta take a moment. Get calm, relax, don't get angry. Just gotta.
I'll take it.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Good tilt. Good tilt.
that was so magical.
Good job, Evan. I mean, Chris.
Dude, that was the
What a
Patriots'
ride.
fault.
If anybody wants to clip that in Twitch, it'd be great. That was the Patriots' fault. That's a deep
Wow.
comment.
You should have followed Alexander's advice. Keep calm.
Keep calm.
See something new every day. I mean, that's proof right there. Always keep your hands on the game and be aware. Sometimes it'll roll up and hit a out lane and put it back in play, or Lazarus.
Yeah, with the kickbacks like this that are triggered in the out lane on those switches, there's a chance that if it's lit and it goes through the between the flippers, goes down the middle and ricochets the right direction, it'll get back up and into play.
I think that doesn't happen so much with like modern Sterns though, because I think the switches are a little higher.
I
and
think so.
They do have like the software kickback, but yeah, I think for that reason the switches don't really need to be directly above the physical mechanism.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think that there's a lot of it's got to be a lot of Williams games. I think the way they made the trough area with the metal there, I mean, it really ricochets off of their design. And I don't know if it's exclusive to Williams, but I'm trying to think of all the games that it's happened in.
I was thinking of mousing around, so there's one. Bally Williams, yeah.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. That's for sure.
I know one game I kind of seen that happen on is Wizard of Oz, where it hits the balloon on the left. They'll pop it out.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, because it's got that like sort of pop bumper situation there.
that's an
that
interesting one.
It could come back out, which is great because that's the worst mode in the entire history of pinball, as far as I'm concerned. It's a mode that gives you false hope, and then if you complete There's No Place Like Home, you've just spent 20 minutes playing a mode that gets you no points. I mean, I think it actually awards you some points.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
But then you're tired. And then I've never seen anybody complete that wizard or that outlane ball save mode and then have a successful ball after the ball's been
It's
saved.
kind of like the original Black Knight's Last Chance, where you really can't score much because you can't get into multi-ball. But what you can do maybe is try and get an extra ball, and that's essentially what that ends up being.
Yeah, but it's more than you're going to get out of, No Place Like Home. It's just, I almost just plunged and walked away.
But it's supposed to give you a boost of confidence once you complete it.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted. I'm frustrated.
Pinball's hard.
Just give a picture all those rainbow stand-ups at the X-File cam.
Well, and that's the easy part, though. Like, you get through that, which is already kind of frustrating. And then you're like, oh, I got to shoot these two shots that I would just never shoot anyways. Let me put it in the looking glass, which is really a difficult shot on that machine. So it would be great, though, if you could get Toto from, if you were in that mode and you drained out the right lane, it would just give you the Toto mode, too. So Pete with a commanding lead over CDs.
There is no such thing as a commanding lead over CDs.
Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe he used up all his good mojo there against Colin. That's not how it works with CDs. I mean, he's a consistent player. That's why he finishes in the top 4 of Pinburg all the time. Now, Alexander, when I first met you, you hated games like these. You hated all of these old games. Tonight, we were only playing old games that you used to just distrust. You would hate if somebody picked them against you. How has the journey been learning to love games like this?
It was difficult at first, kind of, because I didn't want to take the time to play them, kind of. Once I took the time, appreciate and play some of these older titles, you get to learn the way they play, the styles, the bounces, kind of.
Get in. Oh, come on.
Were you finding that at that time, before you became the monster
Get
of
in
a
there.
player that you are, that people were just picking these against you?
Oh, yeah, they would pick it all the time against me earlier.
I know I'd pick them against you. It was the only chance I had. It was the only hope.
I'm ready. I'll pick something goofy like Casanova.
Yeah, now you're like well known for knowing rules about weird games and picking them in the tournament.
I did
I
it
think
again.
juniors at Papa like 20 or 19, you picked like Derby Day. And what's that Pink Gottlieb game we have?
Oh, Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, I picked that first round. League finals.
This league finals.
Yes.
Vegas. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I was in the semifinal round with Alexander at finals, and I'm like, what game do you pick against him? I don't remember what I picked, but it didn't work.
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, that's right. It was Wheel of Fortune. See?
All right. Well, we're going to get set up for our next game, which is Catacomb. My name's Jim. I'm here with Colin. I'm here with Alexander. And we are here at the Papa World headquarters. And sorry about all that noise if it came through, as somebody dropped a microphone. But here at the Papa World headquarters, we are going through games that will get you disqualified. The first was Space Shuttle because of the bonus ball. This next one's going to be Catacomb because, we'll explain that as you see it, the amazing backglass mini game that's part of the game. Have you ever played Catacomb in a tournament, Colin?
I've played in a few match play tournaments. I think it's a game for people with math degrees. It's a little out there.
Yeah.
The backbox mode combined with the features on the playfield, I still can't explain it myself. So I hope someone knows the rules to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love this game. This game is great. And we'll get to whether or not Alexander knows the rules after a word from one of our sponsors, Pinstadium.
The wait is over. A revolution in LED lighting for your pinball is finally here. Fully customizable, full spectrum lighting from Pinstadium Lights. Order yours now at pinstadium.com.
All right, Pinstadium Lights, a great sponsor. They set up the lights and help us out at Pinburg to give us a little bit better view of the playfields because in that building the lighting is not the greatest, at least for our purposes. And I'd like to thank them for everything they do. Alexander, Catacomb, what do you think?
It's an interesting title. It's a quick one.
It's a quick one. You can play this game for a long time. You could get a hold of it.
I have not had the same experience.
Well, I think it's just one of those games where it forces you to shoot drop targets, which in this era, shooting drop targets is bad. Yes. The spinner is not nearly as valuable as actually trying to play the rest of the game, which is great, honestly, because too many games of this era, of this decade, are just light the spinner and shoot it, right? Yes. And that gets real boring in tournaments.
Yes.
And then on top of that, it's just this crazy backbox game.
Yes.
It's a very simple backbox game, but it's a crazy backbox game. So we're going to play some Catacomb. It's going to start with Petey versus Chris Stevens, the final duo from Space Station. CD's trying to redeem himself. And we'll see, apparently CD's is this great world-class player, but he's only beaten Colin so far. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. And here is Catacomb. So as you'll notice, we have a couple things that are key. In the middle of the screen, and you'll notice that Pete just did one of the most important things about this game. And this is one of those games you want to, walk up and check. He looked to see if there was a ball locked already because this game carries locked balls between games. It's one of the few, but that's so important in the tournament because maybe you want to go first, even though you get the disadvantage of not seeing the game played, because those locked balls are important. So Pete's just blown through his ball so fast we haven't even had a chance to explain it. So you have no idea what's going on. But here's this back box game. He's going to keep going.
He's completed reds already.
Yep. So he'll get the multi-ball if there's a ball left. This is one of the greatest back box. All right. Right. I'm going to try to explain this because
Please do.
Hopefully CDs has enough time, and maybe we'll get the playfield camera to go up just a little bit on the playfield. That way we can see the top rollover and the light up top. But in the middle of this game is this. It's supposed to be like a tunnel through a building or like a cavern, but I always call it the piece of toast because it looks like a piece of toast.
Great. Now I can't unsee it. Thanks a lot.
And so this piece of toast right here has a series of lights in no particular order, but they're actually in a very particular order. And those lights correspond to these 4 sets of drop targets. All right. So your goal is to play multi-ball because multi-ball is where all the points are in this game. 2-ball or 3-ball. First, you have to lock balls. Oh, let me get that arrow. That's better. And then there's a lock right there.
Come on, baby. Give me a D.
Only way you can lock those balls is by accident. You can't shoot them. I mean, they're both facing the wrong direction. You just got to get them
You're
locked
firing
in.
a lot of pop bumpers in this game and getting the bounds.
And then you get to play multi-ball if either during the course of your ball you fill a color, so there's 4 colors, blue, green, red, and orange, or if during the Catacomb phase in the back glass you also fill those 4 colors, then you'll get, or one of those colors, you'll get to play the multi-ball on your next ball. So it only matters on the first 2 balls. So when Pete plunges, that ball's going to kick out. He's going to be a multi-ball. Watch his points go crazy.
Now I got an interesting dilemma after I get through the multi-ball because I know Chris has finished reds too. So if I lock anything and don't unlock them again, he's getting a multi-ball for free. So
yeah, and that's a good point because you want to know if you want to maybe stick away from those locks. Not that you really have much choice in this game.
you don't.
Are you confused yet, Colin?
There's something I learned right there is that this is, as far as I know, the only game I can think of where if you earn a multi-ball, it starts on your next ball.
No. So
you can get it during regular play.
yeah, if the way you complete a group of colors is by hitting your drop targets,
Then it will start immediately.
it'll start immediately. Now, how the Catacomb back glass thing works is basically, and we'll explain it as soon as Chris gets to it because it's easier to explain when we have it all on all going. But each of those areas, that's the wrong direction. Each of these corresponds to a row or a group of drop targets. And as you're flipping the ball up there, when it goes through one of those rows, it'll light on the piece of toast whatever light is flashing. And you get to play that until either time runs out if you don't flip.
No D.
So A, he gets that
B.
one. Now if he goes to B,
The lights don't work all the way. That's right.
yeah, it was number 8, and since he had already had 8,
Well, I know that
He
you
was
can
good.
use the left flipper in the backbox mode to cycle. So there is some level of control over just
Correct.
which lane it randomly goes into. But it seems like it goes so fast that it's just hard to, as far as I understand, it's hard to process.
And it's timed. I mean, you could fool around trying to set it up for the flip and get nothing.
That's right. It'll time out. Now I don't know what the timing works out to be, but there's a certain amount of time between flips that if you don't flip, it'll move on. And that's probably just to make the game move on. If you walk away, it'll move on to the next player. It'll time out.
Yeah. But you get a limited number of flips regardless. It can
You will
vary.
You will flip until you go through a catacomb channel with a light that's lit. So he's got the top 3. Well, he had the top 3 of the 15, 8.
Noi.
Yeah. So to explain it, A is 1, 9, 6, and 14. So if he has 1, 9, 6, and 14 lit on the toast and he goes down the A column, it's over.
Okay, so if there's nothing to gain from that.
Correct. So yeah, as you can see here, Evans brought this up so much on this game. When you're in the back glass, playing the back glass, these will be flashing or they'll be set on one target. And if he flips and he hits 6 and he has 6 lit, then the game is over. Mm-hmm. But if he hits something that he doesn't have, then he gets to keep playing. And that's Catacomb. And Pete is done. Who's up? I'm going to go.
You want some of this?
Terrible. Ugh. I like how I wanted to plunge to light my spinner, and each time I couldn't even do that.
So when you're playing the back box game, how focused are you on trying to control it?
Very focused.
Very?
Basically, whenever I step up, I see whichever color I have the least amount of. So on ball 1, there's like nothing. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to light up the reds because the reds are the ones you typically mostly start off with. So I plunged it, or I mean, you flip it, and once it lands in a red, I go, okay. Let's say I land in the A. I think, okay, on this next flip, I don't want it to land in the A. If I press the button and it goes in and it's going to bounce into the A, I press the left flipper, and that changes the color.
Well, this is making great television, isn't it?
You make sure to only cycle when you've...
Only whenever I know it's going to go down one I already have. Just a good way to get used to try to collect as many as you can, because that's your bonus ultimately.
Yeah, it seems like I was saying, it's really hard to control exactly what you're going to get, but you're minimizing the amount of processing you have to do mentally if you're thinking, all I need to do is avoid this.
Yeah, because honestly, if you think too hard, you're going to just flip and who knows what's going to happen. But then again, this is also a game where someone can step up not knowing what they're doing and keep pressing the button and keep bouncing in the correct one.
Yeah.
And that's why this is a game I don't like watching my opponents play, because it's kind of crushing to have it happen. But the way that it's currently set up is you can easily get disqualified on this if someone walks away and doesn't press their flippers, and you step up and let's say you're a player that likes to press the flippers. If you press the flippers and watch that ball, guess what?
That's a disqualification.
That's a disqualification. You're playing somebody else's ball. It is not your turn.
You might think, how much control can you have over it? But in the end, the rule is the rule.
Yeah, but the way that the way the game works is, you know it's your turn if your score is blinking. So right now, whenever he's not hitting anything, you'll see his score blinking. Also, whenever he's out of his main ball play and he's up on the back glass, his score will still be blinking. And that's when you know it's safe. And there's a lovely bounce in.
Okay.
I mean, a part of me hopes I get to play that again because my game was so terrible I never really got the chance to flip. But then again, I don't want to play this game again.
So I need 11 and 7 to unlock that.
And in order to collect those, he needs to complete the drop bank with that color. Whoop, that adds 500 points to his spinner. Oh, he already got that one, sucker.
I could have gotten that too.
You could have been a contender. So now, let's say he already has 2 of the reds. If he presses the left flipper, it'll adjust the colors.
And now I need B.
Now he needs an 11, but he already had that one.
All right.
Okay, now he has that one completed, which means at the start of his next ball, he'll get a multi-ball. And you can even hear what it says, Prisoner 1 escaping from Catacomb. That means they're not there yet. So we should hear a different call-out for whenever James steps up. I mean, at least I think so. I could be completely wrong. I don't have too much time on this game.
Okay.
But I like to try to learn. It's definitely a weird, wonky game, but it's a game that you're like, I think I know it. Let me play again and find out if I do. And then you don't, but you still play it again to find out. Like, it has a good replay value, in my opinion.
Bad flip.
But it's tough.
Mysteries, it seems.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure what's going on with the top lane skill shot there.
I'm not even sure what's happening with the art on the center of the playfield there. Is that a person or a lizard? Or
Just fill the piece of
something in
toast.
There's some little rats on the right, I think.
Well, I think it said player 2 escaping from Catacomb, which means whenever he plunges it, he should get the multi-ball. But he has to have that rollover up top. There he goes. And I don't even know how multi-ball scoring actually works. I would just do this, and I would hit that spinner.
That's the goal.
Chris, how do you build the spinner value on this game?
You want to build a spinner value by going through this in lane up top.
Oh.
Anytime you go over that switch,
Wow.
it will add a light. Bling, bling, bling. So what you can do is you can short plunge 3 times and have a max spinner for ball 3. You think that's a viable strategy,
I
Alexander?
think that is.
What do you think? It's a tough spinner shot, though. It's not exactly on a sweet spot on the flipper. So whenever you flip, you're like worried that it's too low. You know?
Get a bad feed.
Yeah, you might get a bad bounce, or just it could hit that 2 target and go crazy. What's up, Pete?
Now, Colin was asking about the skill shot at the top. This lane here says stops lights on red.
Yes, which is huge.
The next one is stops light on amber. And then the third one is increased spinner value.
And whenever he says that it stops lights on red, that means that you don't have to time your shots.
Every drop target.
Every drop target will award you a red once you complete the bank. Like, this is part of the challenge of the game is now he just needs that 6 and that 10 on the red, so he could get those to within 1 target each.
But there's no lock, so there's no reason.
Hey, now
Never mind.
there is a reason. So, like, let's say he plunges this and tries to get it where it
Yes,
goes through that lit end
My
lane on
spinner's
top.
max, so there's no reason to go for that one.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing very well getting it to the ones I want, so.
It also looks like if you plunge too hard, maybe you hit one of the rubbers, it turns off.
Yes, you'll have a rebound rubber on the top of this, and then there's a star rollover at the very top of the machine, just out of the screen. And hitting the star rollover or hitting that rebound rubber will adjust. Will switch on and off.
Okay. That's a high
Oh
value
boy,
spinner. for
yeah. James is shaking his head. Can you hit it again? Oh, see, like it's such a weird spot on the flipper. Oh, that's out. All right, so he's got one more game of Bagatelle in the piece of toast, because now it is a piece of toast.
Because my game is toast.
Your game is toast. And also, it's nice because whenever you complete all of a color, you get a bonus X.
And then on the last ball, you get 34 bonus for each completed
And
line.
you got a line. Just
34,000.
What's
That's
that? Similar to
Big game.
Big Game. All right, let's see what he can do.
All right.
Do you have any lines?
I
need some amber.
16.
You need some
16
amber.
counts as a line, and
Yes.
13 counts as a line. So 16 and 13 are
Or
amber.
blues and purple.
So if I can stop the ball on amber,
If you can plunge it where it hits the star rollover twice and lands just like that. But it didn't stop. Okay, so it stopped the
stop
ones
13
he
and
needs
16. Yeah.
on amber. So he needs that one and he needs that. So those two are stopped on amber.
That's actually kind of a good thing. It means that it's not going to prevent him from.
Advancing his other
No,
targets.
but I
the one
can
he already
get
has.
13 and 16 here. So
Yeah,
B
he can get some.
and
He
D.
can get some big points here. So there's
there's
34,000.
And that was
He's
that.
gonna be just yeah. Like I say, he's gonna take it. Very nice. And Pete walks away. Doesn't give him a congratulatory handshake, but that's okay.
Oh,
Good game, James.
Good game, good game. Pete, welcome back. We're sending in the backup to see if he can play some
that was
Catacomb
disappointing.
here.
do you want to go
I
first?
know the
or-
feeling, Pete. I know.
I thought the
feeling.
spinner strategy would do the trick.
I thought it would too, but the lines came out on top on that one. All right, so we're gonna have Alexander go first. but there's a ball locked. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Ah. So Alexander, I see that your favorite sports scandal is the Hand of God. Do you know anything about that?
I do not know nothing about the Hand of God. That was Evan's choice.
All right. Well,
The Hand of God was a goal scored by Argentina in the World Cup, which was clearly a handball, but the refs didn't count it, and
the refs counted it.
they didn't count the handball.
Yeah.
They counted the goal.
They counted the goal. Like, oh, they counted it. And right away, he lands on the amber and also spots him the 1. So now his mode right now should be nothing but drop targets because he wants to get those ambers. This probably has a larger amber bonus than Jurassic Park.
Thank you, Martin Vandenberg, for watching us tonight from the Netherlands. He said, I woke up and randomly decided to see what was on YouTube.
He heard it.
Well, if you wake up at this time in a couple weeks,
Change it.
be sure to turn on Twitch. We'll be there most Tuesday nights, 7:30 our time, which
Eastern
is
Standard Time.
whatever time your time.
Whatever time, your time, which is absolutely late your time, or absolutely early, depending on how you want to look at it. All right, Jim. So your strategy for taking down Pete Hendricks was going for toast.
Toast, multi-ball all day.
Are you going to do that again?
Yeah, I mean, since there's a ball locked, I'm going to focus on that.
Yep, he's got a ball currently in the top lock, which
So
means
I'm going to try to plunge either 6 or 1 because it'll lock all my drop targets into a single color, which is huge.
which
that
is
way
very big.
I can just
Focus on drops.
go on drops. So
All right.
I like to go. I know where the shot is for amber, so I'll plunge for amber.
Watch him miss.
No, I could have nudged that.
All right, well, because it wasn't lit as he went through it, he still gets the locked drop targets, but he does not get a spot. But so, I mean, that's kind of a win, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think I might have had the quickest multi-ball when I was practicing this earlier, and I want to see if anyone else can do it. I had a ball kick out of the right lock and immediately hit the pop bumper and go into the left lock.
I got 0 colors. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is a game where you, if you relock a ball during multi-ball, it's locked again.
Yes.
We'll
And
be
it-
seeing
and it's-
more of
it's
that
gone.
later tonight.
Yeah, for our beautiful. Oh no, there's a B. You didn't change it, kid.
I know.
So now Alexander, all he needs is the 7, which is a red, and he'll have himself a line in the middle, which will equal 34,000 points at the end of his ball. So he gets him the amber. He needs the 16, which should be on the bottom right, or the top. The B, I believe. I believe that's the 16 up there. So if he could clear that B target bank, he will have a multi-ball. Oy.
Phoenix Ariat, this game was in a tournament over the weekend. I got first on it, even though I had no idea what was going on, and then I don't love in a tournament setting. And we've used this before in the, it's the Papa Circuit Final at the time, now the Stern Circuit Final. If you see this game in a tournament, does it frighten you? Because it does have such an element of luck to it.
I mean, it frightens me mainly because, number one, it's a hard game to play. It's hard to score points. And it's always hard for me to play a game where I can get beat just by someone pressing a flipper button at any random time.
James, we have a request from the chat room.
What's that?
Do you get to play the bagatelle if you tilt?
Maybe.
We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out, but not against the kid.
Oh, do we make the kid tilt?
No, we don't make the kid tilt. We'll see if... he tilted.
I tilted.
I think he reset
he
the game. He
okay.
slam tilted.
Wait, Pete, we need to roll it. Get your rolls. Pete, get your rolls. Get your rule book. It's over on the couch. All right. All right, James, explain to Pete what happened. We got a tech here. We got a TD.
As I was draining, I did nothing to the game.
This is normal. This is typical.
I don't know why the game
And
reset.
it's funny because this is very common,
This
where
is
it's
what you
like,
hear a lot.
I did nothing.
catastrophic malfunction.
When the system crashes or results due to a software or component power, blah, blah, blah. Any event caused by a player intentionally or unintentionally, including slam tilt, is covered under. Oh, slam. I think that was a slam tilt.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Slam
I
tilt.
don't. Did you see
Slam tilt.
anything? He's young.
It is
He
now
doesn't
his
know the
favorite
rules.
sports scandal, the 2019 PAPAtv Live Slam Tilt.
Well, it looks like we got to start over.
Hang on. Okay, so this is my ruling is both players. You were on ball 2, right? Was your ball still in play?
No. Yes.
Yes.
My ball was still in play.
All right. Because your ball was still in play when the game malfunctioned. You were on ball 2, right?
Yep.
You get 2 balls. You get 1 ball.
Okay. I like that.
Play on.
I like that. So we'll start a new game.
Did they get to keep their scores, Pete? Yes, yes, they do. So take a picture of those scores. Not that score. Those scores.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that isn't how it would happen for real.
All
And
right.
then Alexander gets to go first.
That is not what would happen.
Questionable decision.
But what is the correct ruling there, Pete?
The correct ruling was that was would have been considered a slam tilt, and James would have been disqualified.
And depending on what they would have said, is there anything that would have changed your ruling?
now, see, these are one of the hard ones to rule. Like, if you have to get the information from all the players, and because say I was at Pinburg, I wouldn't have seen that happen.
Exactly. So you
You can only go off the information you know.
Yes.
And like, if all the players would have said, he didn't do anything, then I have to assume that the game malfunctioned.
Exactly. Because as you're stepping up, all you can see is you have four players there in Pinburg, more often than not, and you see that the game is out of game state.
Right.
Okay, somebody write this down. His first ball was 57,490.
You're gonna make us do math.
And then his third ball was 52,730. So he actually doubled his score.
Okay, so Alexander, well, because
57,490.
because we're already cheating for this game, I'm going to add 100,000, and Alexander is at 300,220.
And something important to note that Alexander basically loses his progress on his bonus,
Yep.
right? Mm-hmm. And you cannot duplicate that as a tournament director. Is that correct? Does that?
That is right.
track?
We do not reset state.
Now, because James got 2 balls, should he have gone first?
We've done that. Where if it's easy to do, we can do that. Like we tilted off Alexander's ball 1 in the second game, leaving him at 0.
Yes.
And then that way his 1 ball of the game would have been ball 2.
I was going to say, because technically that means that James just played out of turn, because he should have been player 1. Or no, Alexander played out of turn.
No, Alexander played as player 1.
Yeah, but you should have been player
Look
1.
at that. James
Oh.
finishes the colors for Alexander.
He's doing really good.
And we still have a ball in lock, right? So I think we'll let Alexander actually finish this game if James doesn't get the multi-ball. Let's see what Alexander can do with those 2 balls.
I need 7. 7.
So if James can get the 7, he'll start the multi-ball.
That's if he can get the 7. He got the 1, and now he cannot get the 7 because he locked it on Amber.
Yep, so I'm just going to have to.
So now he has to get Amber.
Grind it out.
Or he loses the ball. Or he slam tilts again. You never know.
Oh, but since he was trying to tilt for us, no, you don't get the bagatelle with the tilt.
Well, he tilted right there.
Yeah.
He does not get the
No
bagatelle.
bagatelle.
And it goes up to player 1. So let's have Alexander play again. Are you able to tally up the scores? What's the final here?
Alexander wins.
Yay! Cheaters never win.
All right, so Alexander will start the multi-ball
Unless
here
you're the Patriots.
because he finished his colors during his bagatelle session. And look at that, he's almost got a second color set
He's
finished.
rolling right through these colors. Nice flipper play right there. Got a ball to a cradle.
Games with colors and shooting colors. Now right there, he locked his other
locked
ball.
it.
Multi-ball is over.
Volleyball's gone. You don't get
need-
that ball back unless you earn it.
He would need to free it again with the 6. Welcome back to the booth, James.
It looked like you got all your anger out there in that game. How do you feel?
I was shocked that was a slam tilt. Honestly, it was definitely a tilt.
So this game is under protest.
Well, all I would say is that I would ask for somebody to set the game up and attempt to get a slam tilt again.
So inspect the slam tilt.
Yeah, well, because I think it was pretty apparent even on the stream. Like, I gave it a decent tilting nudge, but games should not slam tilt through on something like that.
All right.
The design should be a slam tilt. I mean, you should be moving the machine and doing a lot. So
Yes.
I would actually ask the TD if that was the case to say, hey, can you check to see if this game isn't malfunctioning? Because
Yes.
it could be a problem that when it tilts, it's just shorting out.
And as a player, you have the right to say that. Say, hey, I'm curious about, maybe it did malfunction. Can you just pay attention to it? Any information that you can give to a TD or a tech at that time
Yes, it definitely helps us
is
out.
very useful.
Because a lot of the stuff that happens, we can't recreate like on a drop of a hat. But we don't want, if it is an issue, we don't want it happening again to other players. And
We want to make sure everyone has a good time.
all right, now we got both balls locked.
Both balls locked. Now, do we
no
have a special a challenge in play for this game?
There was, but I guess I was the first person to get it. But
Well, it wasn't on the
it's
line.
going to be between Colin and Alexander right now. Whoever can unlock those two balls will get a special pin.
They get a prize. Brought to you by me.
Chris Stevens.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. I love collecting pins, and I love giving things away. And I love Boston Market. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's true. I really enjoy this game. Just the same way I enjoy Big Game, which is, there's a couple strategies. You could just go the light the spinner route and just try to rip spinners all day.
Oh, nice nudge.
But if you actually know how the game works, you can progress it through the drop targets, through the multi-ball,
nice
and put
save.
up even bigger points.
Oh, boy. Now, do you think that knowing, up and over, knowing how to play a game, the knowledge, this is a game where that is a huge advantage.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think that the younger generation of players, Alexander, is a part of that? Do you think that they might be at a disadvantage playing against a seasoned player?
I don't think so anymore, mostly because, just look at the archive that we have
Yes.
at PAPAtv. You can pretty much see almost all the games that are going to be in a tournament.
Yep.
There's a handful that aren't in there. Most likely those games aren't going to be in important settings or important tournaments, and you would only maybe experience in the match play setting at
A
Pinball.
little tap
Look
pass
at
action.
that. Tappy, tappy.
But what I want to bring up is you think that might be a little different, like let's say 10 years ago.
Oh, it's a lot different 10 years ago.
So had Alexander been around 10 years ago, do you think he would know how to play Catacomb?
Rules are too deep.
He would have had. He would have had an advantage being in an area with a Catacomb
Yes,
available.
definitely.
And so for certain types of tournaments, then yeah, that would be a big advantage. But really,
nice.
there's only a handful of places around the country that have tournaments where you're going to see more obscure games.
Yes.
Nice patience there, not to nudge that down the outlane.
And we're lucky
He's
to
got
be one
that.
of them.
He's got that spinner maxed, and he's hungry for some spins. He's having a little trouble with it though. Oh no! Oh, there it goes. With no rubber on those out lanes, it just finds its way every time. It seems it's tough.
I think if you had rubbers on these outlanes, this game would play for a long time.
Phoenix Arrest. Left flipper changes the color, but during that last round, the colors were still rotating. How do you know what color the bagatelle is on?
Whatever's lit.
Whatever's lit when it goes through. Yep.
Yes.
It was kind of stuck in the back box a little bit, and I think it timed out by the time it was dislodged.
Now, before you plunge, Pete,
Yes.
would you rule out a stuck ball?
Stuck in the backlash.
Stuck in the backlash. How would
No.
you rule that? Just say play on?
That's pinball.
Now, what if it's still stuck for player 2 here?
Well, if it was still stuck, player 2 would call us and we'd try to free it out.
Good.
But like games like 300 that have the balls in the back box area, sometimes when the bonuses count, one will hang up, and that player will lose that bonus. And the other person will earn that bonus, and that just falls under that's pinball.
And unfortunately, that's we're playing. It looks like someone got an outlane on Creature from the Black Lagoon, and we need someone to focus on that player.
Up,
Oh, he
up
got
and
another up and over,
Got to be careful with
and
those
he
catches.
tilted. He tilted the game.
Lost his back.
Loses the
bagatelle.
bagatelle, and this is not a game you want to tilt.
No, it's the bonus, especially the third ball. The third ball, this is like hoops.
Yeah.
For anybody who's played hoops,
Collect that bonus.
this is one of those games where the third ball bonus is the most important because it's the 34,000, which actually going back to our game is a very interesting problem, right? We both lost our third ball.
Yeah.
And the third ball's state is completely different. Now, I believe we could have had you.
We could have tilted off both of your ball 1s and Alexander's ball 2 and had you start as ball 2 with a score of 0.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to request that as a player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can request anything. You just may not get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a section that says you
do.
can request the game to be put back into the state it was. That's done within limits of what can be recreated.
Yeah, but you can't.
But like a lot
Or
of
a-
games that have a double bonus ball on the 5th ball, if that's the ball you lost, you can request to be.
Or the Data East games that had a multi-ball automatically lit on ball 3, things
Yeah.
like that.
Well, let's say that you've tilted, or you. I'm trying to think of what I can say here. You got a ball stuck on you're playing Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
All right, and you lost your ball 2.
Yeah.
Can you play your ball 3 and then request that the next game be starting on ball 3?
No,
No.
because it's your ball 2.
Okay, I'm just trying to see what you can kind of get out of this, but
And since ball 2 in that game doesn't really have any specific state, you would just, like any thing that happens because of the where that ball is, you would probably just you would just play the first ball.
yeah, and
Now there's games that like Snow Derby. Snow Derby changes how it
multi-ball!
counts bonus. It looks like Colin's going to win our pin.
He wins the pin.
But Snow Derby balls are all very different. So if you miss out on ball 3 because of a tilt through, you're going to want that ball at a minimum, ball 3, because ball 1 and 2 in Snow Derby, if you've played Snow Derby, knows are basically useless balls. They're balls to figure out where the shots are on Snow Derby.
Yes, pretty much. Well, he loses the match, but he wins the pin. If we can get a view of that after this Pindigo ad.
Pindigo is the premier social score tracking app for pinball players. Save your scores, follow your friends, compare and compete. Available for iOS and Android. Check it out online at pindigo.app. Pindigo.app. .app. I'm actually going to look. I'm going to look right now on Pindigo, and I want to see what the high score in the world is for Catacomb.
I bet it's 2.5 million.
Oh my! I haven't used this in a while. I apologize.
I mean, it's got 7 digits, so
2.5 million.
there has to be some big scores on that game.
Yeah, I mean, if you put the rubbers on those posts, I think you could play
If
that
you
game
set it how it should be set up
for a long time.
for simple, fun, casual play, if you will.
Catacomb.
But
Let's see. There is a single score. Oh no, that's within my social chain. Global.
What's the
Top score,
global top score?
1.9.
Oh, I was so
million.
close.
Meechin_CYC at the Saloon, which is somewhere
The saloon.
else. I don't know where that's at. It's funny because sometimes you'll like see a score and you'll be like, oh, that was at That was at Papa.
That's
somebody
fun.
was at replay.
Can we beat that?
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to look at our upcoming broadcasts coming up next week, the long-awaited. The often joked about,
I am so excited.
maybe greatest PAPAtv ever, Johnny Mnemonic and Spectrum. On the original code, we did not get the updated code for Spectrum. That's going to be December 17th, 7:30 p.m. That's going to be our last broadcast for the year. Then we're going to have a happy holidays. Everybody enjoy their time. Go play some pinball. I know I have some vacation days, so I'm going to try to spend some of that time down at our local places like Kickback during the day when nobody's there. And then we're going to see you next year. And remember, when we come back, which is going to be, I believe, January 7th, January 9th, nope, January 7th. When we come back on January 7th, we're going to be exclusively on Twitch.
Exclusive.
Twitch.tv/PAPAtv Pinball. So make sure you subscribe or at least follow us. That way you'll know when we're back and when we start.
And this will give me an opportunity to tell my first ever and only tournament disqualification.
Yeah, what was
I have been disqualified during a tournament.
Oh, I know this one.
What is it?
This is Pinburg.
Yes.
What, 3 years ago when you forgot to show up because you were playing a really good game at the Stern booth. You were just excited and you just didn't know what time you needed to be back.
Does that count as disqualification?
It does count as a disqualification. Or
Okay.
did you just take a 0?
I got eliminated from the tournament. I had to get put back in so I can play my final round, and by that point it was already over.
So yeah, but that doesn't count as a disqualification. I think you just took zeros.
I did take one disqualification.
What's that?
And it was during Pinburg, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I was playing in a group, and we were playing Mystic, and Jim Belcito was the player after me. Fantastic gentleman from California. You can see him at Indisc in January. Go. But we were playing Mystic, and I had to have a good ball 3 to come back. And the ball was coming down the middle, and I did a big slap save to try to save it. I hit the tip of the flipper, and it went straight down the middle, and it tilted, and it automatically kicked the next ball out, and it tilted through. Oof. So therefore, I tilted Jim's ball, which was terrible because he had 72,000 points in bonus waiting to be collected. And what ended up happening was he got to play another game with another ball with 0 bonus, and he did not catch the other player that he wanted to beat by like 40,000 points. So I felt terrible because I ultimately cost him that point.
Well, and that's the question as to whether or not the game state for that could have been reset. And we'll have to ask Pete.
You
Pete
cannot
that.
do it to bonus.
So, oh well.
But hey, let's play some Fireball to make me feel a little better.
Just don't tilt through games.
But that's also why the IFPA during their tournaments, they tend to let you play a game as player 1 and player 3. That way you can avoid tilt throughs. And
yeah, on that that's like the classic tilt through when it's a center drain that's very quick and you're just trying to make a normal save.
Yep, and it's like, oh, no bonus, okay, ball kick out.
Well, and it's too bad it wasn't a Stern.
Oh, yeah, because they would have been able to plunge it and play on.
Yeah, beautiful thing about
But here's another game that we have that causes a lot.
Fireball.
A lot.
That was my Pip Boy.
That was nice. But you get a lot of DQs on this because look at this spinning Fireball.
Oh, beautiful Lazarus.
It's okay. He's gonna lose it right here. This is
look at
that. So he locked a ball.
Yep.
Now the fun begins.
Right
so now I'm getting dizzy.
It's hard to see here. It's much clearer.
Can we change this view? I'm gonna. Okay. Oh, thank you.
The second player light is lit next to the score reel.
Yes,
right
there. It is lit.
To pay attention to right now.
He started his multi-ball. He couldn't do it.
We know how this works, so we're going to be taking some shots. Kind of set up this DQ thing, and hopefully we'll get to it.
Basically, whenever you're in multi-ball on this game, if another ball goes into either of these saucers, you're out of multi-ball.
Right.
That's it.
Just like Catacomb.
Yes.
Actually.
So let's just say that the ball is draining and you hit one of those shots and it registers the ball being locked before the ball being drained. It will kick out the ball and it will light the next player up light because your ball is over. There's no bonus.
Right.
You may lock that ball and
But if the ball locks,
Go
drains-
on.
No, there's no way to make it do it the other way.
What's that?
Oh no! If the ball drains and then the lock is
And
registered
then the lock is
after,
registered.
then it's
All
you.
that happens is the ball kicks out and it's still your turn. That's why it's difficult. You need to pay attention to the back glass. All the information you need is on these lit player lights.
Yep.
All right?
And make sure your player light lights up the
Yes.
first time you step up, because maybe that light is burnt out.
And if it's burnt out, you need to bring it up immediately.
Right. Now, there
'Cause-
is a way, and this is what should be done, is if there's say the light does burn out, or there's a question, no lights are on, and you get the TD, what they should do is pull the back glass off, or pull the glass off, and touch like a 10-point thing and see what score reel registers.
Yes.
Because then we'll know.
Then you'll know. A little bit of flipper chatter here from Pete. He's got his, he had the flippers zippered. And you zipper the flippers by hitting this blue mushroom target straight up the middle.
Yeah, you taught me a lot about zipper flippers.
I love zipper flippers.
I didn't know how to take advantage of them.
Yes.
I just thought, oh, it's great. The flippers are closed.
I can't lose
really
the ball.
trade.
I'm invincible.
But there's so much more you can do with how you set up the ball and how you move the ball around a trap scenario on the zipper flipper.
Yep.
And you taught me that
Whoa.
on Gator, a game I now
I love Gator
use
so
as a
much.
go-to in tournaments.
It's so
here in
fun.
Pittsburgh. It's a great game.
There you go.
It seems like there's less skill involved, but there's a lot.
It seems like it's just like, man, I lost the ball, blah. But no, there's so much you can do. Like, look at that.
Boom.
Perfection. And now these strobing lights, he will earn whatever he'll earn whatever point it's on whenever he releases that ball. And you release it by hitting the right to release Odin. Odin you
Which-
catch on the left.
Like he showed you with the other flipper, should be easily backhandable.
Boom. Oh boy.
And then he lost. So he's out of multi-ball.
Had that ball locked, it would have been
the end
over
of his ball, because
for his ball.
the ball does hang out in the lower part of the part of the playfield below the flippers long before it hits the trough.
Yeah, it seems like it takes a while for it to just
There's a lot of
Roll
space
its
down
way.
there. The ball bounces around a lot. Yeah. I mean, so around here, and I believe in Pinburg, this is a one-player game. That way,
Oh no!
we never have those
Too
problems.
late. Too bad.
And if you have a game that's going to happen, if it skips players for some reason, or there's something confusing about it, maybe you're tired of people getting disqualified on Embryon because of the way that ball handles a locked ball, then just say, hey, you know what, for this game, each player is going to play one at a time. You know, that solves your problem.
Oh no!
Because
Oh
most
boy!
of the disqualification problems come from multiplayer games.
Flip, kid, flip. Oh, see, he got a little impatient there. He knows. There you go. Like I said, that's what you wanted right there. So now he's got the balls in play. He's not scoring double points or nothing special, but he just has more balls in play. This is what I like to be in right here. But you have to be careful, because let's say you have a ball stuck in between there, and the ball that you kicked out then hits one of those mushrooms, so it opens up your flippers like, hello, and goodbye ball. Oh, boy. But it's okay, because now it's right back. Ah, that was beautiful. If only he can get the skill shot. Just like that. 3,000 points. Light up them pops. All right, so he wants to, that'll release. If you hit, oh, whoa.
Is it still him? It's still him.
It's still him.
With the back glass.
Back glass is doing its thing. So there is a gate down here that can switch over, where if you get it through here and releases it, it gives you another chance at the skill shot, which
Yeah.
is really what you want.
Yeah, because you'll see at the top of the captive ball it says "Release Fire Gods"
Yeah, you release Odin and Wotan.
with Votan.
Negative. You must plunge that into play immediately.
You must attempt to plunge it immediately.
Immediately.
Which we found out, what was that, last week when I tried to plunge a ball? And everybody's yelling at me to plunge the ball, and I am pulling that plunger back. And during that entire multi-ball, the plunger would not plunge the ball into the game.
I don't think that was last week. Or no, was that on Elvis?
That was
Yeah.
not last week. That was, I think, 2 weeks
Like
ago.
I say, I think that happened whenever I was here, and I wasn't here last week.
But yeah, you have to make the attempt. And you have to make a real attempt.
You can't be like, oh, I
Don't
can't
be-
find the plunger. I'm
Right.
Butterfingers. So, Pete, how many points do you have? 10,000. How many points does Alexander have? You're losing. And it is ball 5. You are toast from the fire gods.
Yeah, and if you can practice on the machine, that's the reason to practice.
Yeah.
On this
Oh.
machine. I mean, nothing you could do.
This is a game where if it's available for play, if you practice that skill shot and you pick it during your thing, you can be like, hey, I pick fireball.
Yeah,
I'll be player 1.
First year that I was in the A Division Finals here at the Pittsburgh Pinball League, I, walked up to this game cold, and the person that picked it had practiced the skill shot, and he was the person I needed to beat to move on, and did not because of not practicing that skill shot.
That is a
15,000
rough
points.
situation. I know that when I came to PPL finals this past weekend, the first game I looked for was Fireball, because I've had that same thing happen.
Right now what you're seeing is Pete going in there, getting the ball in the plunger lane. Sometimes it gets caught up on the mechanism. It's an older type of mech, so sometimes it just doesn't kick the ball out into the plunger lane. But what you'll notice, unlike a lot of games, that Pete did not slide the glass off. He picked the glass up. It's a solid piece, connected. It's really annoying if you accidentally break the glass to replace it. Is a little bit more work, but that's how they used to, make these machines back in the day.
Now I got a question for Alexander. You know where the skill shot is now with all this practice. If this was like in a Papa style or a Herb style qualifying tournament and someone asked, hey, where's the skill shot at? Would you tell them?
Uh-oh. That gave him the ball back, and it's still lit on player 1.
Yeah, this game's been doing that occasionally. What would happen here in a regular tournament is we would go and drop the ball in the trough and see if it passes through
But
again.
since he's playing Evan, he'll just get to play this
Yes,
extra ball.
this is your ball.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, if it was anybody else, I think, in the broadcast, we'd probably reset the game, but, this is the price Evan gets for being in New England.
Now, what Alexander should have done there was walk off and then let Evan play his ball and get disqualified. But
Though at that point, if you came over and they said, hey, this guy played out of order, but he played out of order a ball that shouldn't have been there, it's a malfunction.
disqualification.
It is a disqualification. That's rough.
It is.
That's rough. But like I said, I can see it from here. I'm not even looking at our big TV screen in front of us. I can see it from across the room that it is lit up on the first player.
Player 1, yep.
Now it moved to player 2. It's, like I said, a little hard to see on the broadcast itself just because of the light. But Evan, welcome. That's too bad that, yeah.
All right, so Evan found the skill shot.
And house ball.
But it was a 3,000 point house ball, so that's.
Sorry about that player mic not being up, but our junior technician must not have unmuted the player mic there for a while, and now we got it up and running, so we're good to go. What you heard was Evan say it was a very nice gift for Alexander, and that he would always give Alexander all those points, no matter what.
And that's
Ooh, almost get to
sportsmanship.
Lazarus.
Yeah, no, it's for a New England fan, that's a lot of sportsmanship.
No, see, the technician was working fine. I had the swear mute on because I was dropping F-bombs because Alexander got an extra 12,000 points he didn't deserve.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I know
We'll
where
have
the
to-
3,000 is. It's
we'll-
just will I get to play otherwise.
We'll have to go back and rewatch the tape. I hope somebody recorded it for us.
I cherish this moment. It's rare.
It's one of my favorite things about zipper flippers.
That was not what the shot I wanted was.
I've actually had
Deserve
that
that.
happen on a zipper flipper game where, you're fighting, and then I finally got the zipper flippers to close, and I let the ball hit them, and I took a step back, and another person walked up thinking that I had drained, like, whoa, no, I'm just catching my breath here.
Yeah, I've seen that happen in the chaos that is playing in like a league night at a public location where the player kind of steps back and takes a breath, and just a random person that happens to be at the location, maybe just playing some pinball for fun, about walks up and plunges. Actually, I believe at the beginning of this league, we had a moment where the person that was standing next to our game of Demolition Man, when the other player was just taking a second before his plunge, the person next to it just leaned on the machine and hit the plunge button,
Yeah.
and the ball plunged. And what are you going to do? So I mean, the player got to play an extra ball at the end of the game, and it worked out for them. But that's
Ooh,
something
good attempt there.
You got to be paying attention. And if you're playing in a public place and you're in a group of 4 players, when you're done, stand at that machine until the next player comes up and guard it, because in a public setting, that game will get played.
There's been a few circuit events where we've seen children get tackled to keep them from reaching a game. I'm surprised a parent didn't knock a player out, but
Yeah, please do not attack children over pinball.
Deva L
Information that would have been useful previously.
in the YouTube chat. But are you saying somebody tried to
Oh, no.
tackle you?
Oh, I got that one back.
tackle me?
No, Evan.
Oh.
I'm easily
Confused as a child.
manipulated.
Deva L in the chat said that ball is doing some weird stuff, and are those 1-inch flippers?
They're two.
They're
Not very-
2-inch flippers, but that's definitely a lot
Stay.
smaller than the other regular flipper.
Get in there.
But what you see in the middle, it's hard to see in this big zoomed out shot, but right where that
I
arrow
missed
is a spinning disc. And we have the best quality rubber on that spinning disc.
Yeah.
It's going to catch the ball. It's going to move it. It's going to make it do all kinds of weird things.
Like that.
And it's fantastic.
No.
Oh my God.
This is so nerve-wracking.
What's your least favorite spinning disc?
Me?
Ooh,
It's not Whirlwind because I love Whirlwind.
that's a good question.
Twister.
Probably Stern NBA.
Oh, yeah.
That's yeah.
Definitely. That's a no-brainer.
Well, it doesn't seem to add anything to that game. What about you, Colin? If
I
you
don't
say
know.
Pirates of the Caribbean,
I'd say maybe Beatles.
Beatles, yeah,
That's a good choice.
that's a good
Oh, I
choice.
didn't want to do that.
I think that one is.
You didn't wanna
difficult
do
'cause
that
the
either.
Sea Witch layout is already a tough game.
Yeah.
Well, at least you freed the multi ball so that
It's your play. You must have.
What happened?
drained- You must have.
I disqualified something, or he did.
no, you drained, but it didn't skip. You get the same thing he did. This game's been doing that
Oh, okay.
occasionally. So
Good, I get to play. I just
Yeah.
gave him like 20,000 points, so whatever.
Now, is this a
We're here for
pass-through,
fun.
or
Well, it's not a pass through. This game just has a malfunction right now where it's not always recognizing drains.
Okay.
So there you go.
So Dan and Eck or whoever gets a hold of this one will fix that before we use it in a replay. Clean up the trough area or the contacts or whatever would cause that to happen. But
Brian Tessier in chat says WrestleMania LE is the worst spinning disc. Or Stern NBA. WrestleMania, I could see that.
And WrestleMania has a lot going for it in the negative way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd associate a lot of bad.
these guys are doing
things on
a
the
great
playfield
job
with
of
that.
seeing what players up and.
Well, and the thing about WrestleMania LE is like that upper playfield is already extremely difficult to make that shot. You know, with the weird slingshot flipper situation. And then they were like, you know what would be great? Let's put something to completely randomize that situation. You can't trap up there, so you can't wait it out. You're just going to have to suck it up and play.
Give me another one.
So it looks like Alexander
Not really. I won,
this.
but that's okay.
No, you
Colin's
didn't.
going to come up and see if he can take down the champ.
I'm going to make a prediction now. No one's taking him out
No one's taken,
because he knows where that skill shot is. Though Evan did a pretty good job of hitting the skill shots.
15,000 points for that skill shot. I mean, he still had to put up 30,000 points, which is not an easy task in this game.
All right, so Colin's going to go first. Interesting.
Power play. And there's no ball.
Again.
All right, Pete's going to go handle that. And while Pete is handling that, maybe we'll do a PinballMIX ad, a word from our sponsor on this while we wait on this game that has just some bells and whistles. Have you ever thought, what would it be like to have the best music possible in one of your pinball machines? Mark from PinballMIX will upgrade your machine with smooth cuts, tight loops, and balanced levels. He does this with music you get to choose. There are plenty of mods that enhance what you see. PinballMIX can enhance what you hear. What others are saying, Ben from Midland, Texas, he does a professional job and loops things to perfection. Kevin from Buffalo Pinball, love the mix that PinballMIX did for me. It's a great way to breathe some new life into your favorite games. Paul from Pinside, I found this the best bang for your buck mod I can personally add to a game I love. Go to pinballmix.com to see videos of Mark's work, or just email Mark directly at pinballmix@gmail.com for more info. What machine would you like to upgrade? I think what a lot of people don't know about PinballMIX is that there's a lot to putting in music into a pinball machine and making sure that it's balanced properly on the types of speakers in the game, making sure that the callouts can still be heard, making sure it changes as needed if there needs to be multiple tracks for multiple modes or stages of the game. It's far more complicated than you think. And then on top of that, just making sure that it still sounds good when it comes out. I mean, and he does a great job. We listened to a bunch of different versions of games at Replay FX this year. So if you catch him at a show, check his stuff out. I really like it. Though I wouldn't.
Oh, no. No, Alexander's disqualified. He's playing Colin's ball.
Oh, and it happens. And Alexander didn't even notice. That's a DQ. Colin wins. Pete was incorrect and didn't know that You said Colin was going to win. And that's the way to do it, I guess.
Another DQ for my track record.
And that is why.
A reminder, always make sure you're up before you plunge the ball.
And the other thing that you gotta note in this game is, right, we've had this problem today where it's either not changing players, or maybe it's going to pass through a player, especially in these old EMs. You need to be paying attention, even if you're not paying attention to what's happening on the playfield. You need to be paying attention that the score reels are working, and then when somebody's ball ends, it goes to the next player.
Because it is always the player's responsibility.
Yeah. Well, and that other player, I mean, not to say that there are, let's be honest, there are going to be nefarious players in every sport, and there may be somebody that would take advantage of that. See that?
Now, did Colin see that it didn't advance to player 2 when he walked off? Probably. And I think he wanted to see Alexander get disqualified,
I
but
didn't do it again. See,
Should I play again?
go ahead.
keep playing. We're going to play this game how it lies, which is not great currently.
Well, we can talk about, there's also a solid-state version of this game called Fireball Classic. It's the exact same thing, just solid state.
Is there a Fireball 2 also?
There is a Fireball too, but
It's not nearly as good.
it's a lot better. Up in the Canadian Open, they used Fireball Classic, and it has the same rules. You would think a solid state would know better about the state of where balls are, but they programmed it in. If you lock a ball, it's locked, and you drain in the wrong order, your ball's over.
And it's the same scoring too, right?
Yeah. No.
Is it higher scores?
Yes.
Okay.
It uses
An extra
factors,
zero.
so yeah.
It's like Hot Tip, right? Hot Tip has a solid state and an EM, and the scores are a factor of 100.
I think the captive ball area, is a lot easier to hit for bonus X, and I think that is the biggest difference. There's bonus in the game, so. But essentially, the play field's the same, and
Zipper flippers still.
no,
No, full size flippers.
yeah,
It's like a completely different game at that point. It's like the Yukon situation where it's like, well, we're going to change enough of the game that it's.
but it's
really
called
just
Classic.
What year did they make Fireball Classic versus Fireball?
No, I'm not sure.
Pete, I'm disappointed in your research.
We don't have a Fireball Classic, so we won't be doing it on PAPAtv. So I've never worried about it. That was the first time I had ever played Fireball Classic in a tournament, and I think only the second time I'd ever played it. Period. It's not one that you see often.
Brian Tessier in chat says Fireball Classic had inlines, he thinks, or he thinks maybe that was the weird Sears edition of this game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was a Sears edition of this.
Home pinball.
Home pin. Fireball home pin.
So, all kinds of. If somebody would like to donate to Papa Fireball Classic and a Sears Fireball, we will do a broadcast.
If somebody
of
wants to,
all three.
if somebody wants to donate to the tournament directors a bottle of Fireball, I'm also fine with that.
Yeah, you can keep Fireball. If I'm gonna drink like a pepperminty schnapps, I'm gonna go Goldschlager.
Goldschlager's a fine choice too.
I want to be ingesting as many gold flakes in my life as I possibly can.
Colin's putting up a good game here, mostly because he's had like 19 balls or something.
He might win this despite Alexander playing out of order. He's got into Alexander's head with that DQ. I don't think Alexander's made a plunge.
Maybe he's getting worn out.
Ball 5.
Are we ball 5? Yeah, one ball to go. Now, see, I was down by this much against Alexander. Let's see what Alexander can do. I'll give you a clue. It's going to be a lot better than what I did.
I'm going to be the grand champion of Fireball. You know how?
You're going to roll it.
I'm not going to play it.
I don't know. You're next up in line.
I am. I'm going to have to take Colin down. Unless Alexander puts up, let's see, he needs what? 40,000? 45,000?
Well, that brings up another point about disqualification. Say you're playing a poor. Alexander just had no luck on that one. 3 quick out lanes and right down the middle. But that's going to happen on a game like this.
All right, I'm going to go defeat Colin. You can go first, Colin.
But
Maybe I want to go first.
I don't know. You called it.
as I was saying, say player 2 gets disqualified and then they walk away. If anything happens during player 2 after they've been disqualified, it doesn't count. That game is essentially dead. You can't play out of out of order by playing, like, say, player 3 played player 2's ball. Well, they were already disqualified. That game doesn't count. It just means nothing.
Okay, it's player 2.
And welcome back to the booth, Alexander. You had a nice run there, but then Fireball decided you've had enough.
Devastating defeat.
If anybody would like to give us a new Fireball Black class, too, that'd be great.
Now, you see there, James hit the half a skill shot. If you can get it to come down through all 3 of these lanes, that's the full skill shot in 3,000. It can also sneak through, like, right there, and you'll get 1,000, I believe. And that's how many pop bumpers it'll light. So right now he has 1 lit because he got only the half the skill shot, the short one. That was way too strong, but nice closed flippers will help him out. Start the multi-ball and the multi-ball.
And the multi-ball
And the
is
ball,
over.
period.
And because I did not get that skill shot, am still losing. I'm still losing. 2,700 to 4,500. Skill shot.
I learned how to play this game. It was in a PAPA Classics bank, and I stood in line behind Josh Sharp and then Zach Sharp, watching both of them and how they attacked the game. And what Zach would do is not that. You know, he'd get the zipper flippers closed, and then it was just backhand the right side all day. It was an amazing thing to watch. Lock, skill shot, lock, skill shot. He had great skills with the flippers closed. And
Pete, do you dislike or like games that have that rely so much on the skill shot like that?
it's part of pinball. It's frustrating if you can't find it. You feel a lot better when you do have it, but it's like Ghostbusters. Getting back in the old code when the bonus or the playfield multiplier was so much more.
Yes.
Players could get that instantly, and it just. I mean, plunging is part of the game. There's a lot more than knowing where the flippers are going to have the ball go and making shots. Now that spinning disc, not a fan.
All those skill shots. Nope.
Got the short one, though. Got the one. But I'm not going to do anything with it.
I was hoping it would give me the ball back.
Next week, we got a game with a very interesting skill shot. Spectrum. Can't wait to finally show off the beauty of that game. Oh, it is beautiful. It is colorful. It fits the Christmas spirit, but the skill shot, yeah. Well, you want to see it? Tune in next week. As a reminder, next week will be the last week that we are on both YouTube and Twitch. So if you've been watching us on YouTube, maybe switch to Twitch next week to get used to the change for the beginning of the year. And oh wow,
Clip that?
Yeah, there's another. So he drains and rolls up to hits the kicker and kicks clean into the lock. I mean, I don't know what devil Colin has made a deal with that, but
Right here.
the free gold watch devil. Besides Alexander
like
winning
2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, I'm watching Colin play a game, and the game does some ridiculous thing that just benefits him.
Well, actually, he drained after the plunge, so you're more benefited. I mean, there's 2 locks there. Now,
It's true.
get those flippers closed and get both those balls out, and
Oh, and I got a
got
plunge.
the skill shot. Step 1 done. Step 2 done. All right, now take your time. There's the first one released. There's zippers closed again. Okay, 1 gone, but
It's fine.
you still can't drain down the middle and still have the Left lock and play. Those 100 points add up on a game like this. Perfect. Now, okay, now he got the lock there, so he's going to have to free that one again. And he... Oh, did not count it. That looked good. He closed them and opened them right back up, and that's leaving. That was a good ball. I mean, not many points, but it was a very James did everything that he wanted to do there. All right. So James leaves one lock for Colin. Now, early on, it seemed like Colin was looking down at the plunger and trying to measure the arrows. Now he seems to have it by feel. Did you see that evil smile? He gets another skill shot.
I actually don't have it by feel, but there's a really easy guideline to look at on this.
Okay, well, as Colin is becoming the Fireball champion, and as Alexander was the PPL champion over the weekend, it was like a weekend full of championships.
Do I get to play a bonus ball?
No, you don't. Out at Kid Force Collectibles, John Tomsick was the champion. West Virginia had their first league finals, and Ben Landreth was the champion. And out in Seattle, they had an epic final where some guy named Ray Davidson beat some guy named Kaylee George. Not sure if I've ever heard of them, but congratulations to all Winter League winners. So, Alexander, you...
No!
And that's the end of that game. So now it's... Did it end?
No!
No, he gets an additional ball.
Finally, player 2 gets a bonus ball.
One last gasp.
Come on. One more.
Nope, you
One more.
lose. You're done.
One more.
You're
One
done.
more.
It's over. You lose. Congratulations to our Fireball champion, Colin Dundies. And we'll take a moment here and talk with the PPL champion. And I believe you're going to be the 5 seed in the circuit after your great year this year?
Correct.
So are you looking forward to the level of competition that's going to be in the circuit final this year?
Oh, yeah. It's always a fun matchup, hanging out with all the pinball friends you see everywhere.
And it's the return of the ladder, and being the way up there, you'll be waiting for a long time to actually get into the ladder. Does that affect you any?
No, I enjoy. It gives me like a boost of confidence, kind of. Right, you're already guaranteed something for being up high.
Yeah,
So
by winning OBX, that bumps you up a couple slots, and wow, you won the Sharky Shootout and the money down there. That was also a $700, I believe, win based on bumping up in the standings in the circuit. So it was a huge payday for you across the board.
Really wanted that Sharky Shootout.
Yeah, what'd you do with it? Go ahead, admit it. Go, what'd you do with it?
It got sold.
He sold it to Don Johnson, so
Yeah.
you may be seeing that at Kid Force or one of Don's locations soon.
Really wanted a Terminator 2.
Did you get one?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think I'd rather have Sharky Shootout. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight. Reminder, next week will be our last episode before the holiday break when we play Johnny Mnemonic and Spectrum. And honestly, we're not joking. We are going to play Johnny Mnemonic and Spectrum. For everyone, thank you to Evan for his great job producing tonight, and James, Colin, Chris. Thank you to Alexander for joining us tonight. I'm Pete. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great week.